Nearly 3,000 members of the South African National Defence Force who were deployed in the DRC have vowed to go to court to force the Department of Defence to pay them their outstanding fees. The South African troops were deployed to the DRC as part of the now-terminated SADC mission. Now, to tell us more on that, we have the National Secretary of the South African National Defence Union, Pikkie Greeff. Pikkie, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Contextualize this for us. What are the outstanding fees?
Yeah, good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers as well. I think there's a lot of a lack of clarity as to what is actually owed to the members, partly because the department has been very vague about what amounts should be distributed to soldiers and which are not for consumption in terms of pay. We're trying as a union to figure out, the exact amounts that are due and to who they are due. And in the meantime, we also know that the department has basically made a statement to say that they are also investigating the matter. One doesn't know how long that will take, but we feel very strong that you have to have all the information first before you can even think about litigation. So it's important that the department needs to come clean on what was due to the soldiers so that they can do their calculations, we can do the calculations, and then we'll take it from there. We hope that it wouldn't have to end up in the court.
What are being owed to them? Salaries, or is it a fringe payment, or is it a post-deployment benefit? What exactly is it?
Now, our understanding is that, when you deploy, there were two streams of income to the soldier. The one is his normal salary and benefits that gets paid to him on deployment in terms of departmental policy, and that's from the SANDF. And then there's the payment made by SADC to South Africa as a state. And in the SADC memorandum of understanding between SADC and this country, there is a certain explanation as to amounts being paid to the state, of which part of that gets paid as compensation to the soldiers. Now, one of the things that the soldiers are saying is it's not clear enough at that memorandum of understanding which part of that dollar amount that was paid by SADC to South Africa, which part of that they would be entitled to and which not. And that's also the part that we're investigating. The problem came in when the department, knowing full well that the SADC payment is a service benefit, failed to negotiate the terms of these payments with the union, with SANDF. And that is why we're stuck in this mess now. If it had been negotiated with the union from the start, then everybody would have been clear on what is due and payable, and there wouldn't be this argument now.
So just to be clear, soldiers have been and are being paid their salaries. We're talking here about a different benefit that falls outside of the normal salary.
That's correct. It's payment made by SADC to South Africa, and then there's a certain breakdown of how those items or those amounts are to be used, of which a part is allowances that goes to the soldiers that are bracketed in various categories. Now, some of the soldiers were paid late due to administration mishaps at the department, and the department has in the meantime started paying some of these people, but as we understand it, not all have been paid. And also there's a dispute or questions around what amount is actually due to the soldiers in terms of the memorandum of understanding. Now, if we can get all the documents from the department, we can determine the exact amounts and whether there is anything outstanding or more to be paid to these deployed members.
What has been the response on part of the department?
Look, the department gave us certain documentation, but not full documentation, so it makes it a bit more difficult for us to determine, what the exact amounts are in dispute and what rights the soldiers have and so on. So we're really trying hard to get a hold of those documents. In that regard, I can say the department has not been very forthcoming. And certainly, I must also add that the department has provided a platform where it has said the members must send their problems that they have with allowances to that specific email address and cell phone number. We would think from the union side, we would advise doing so, because once your inquiry is on that platform and it doesn't get answered, it gives you a better foot to stand on for litigation, of course. But we would like to solve this issue without having to resort to courts, and we really hope that we can solve this thing with the department very soon.
Well, Minister Angie Motshega did engage some SANDF members And just by the way, for clarity, is it true, at least on part of SANDF members, the union you belong to, that any of your members held the minister hostage?
No, I'm not aware of any such an incident. I'm aware that there's such rumors, but I'm not aware that any such an incident occurred.
Yeah. And so how much time have you given the department to respond before considering legal action as a union?
We haven't come to deadlines yet. We believe it's still a matter that is open for discussion. And certainly later on in this week, we will probably be having a media statement or a press conference in this regard. So there's no deadlines yet. We're still trying to get to the bottom of the matter, as I explained.
Yeah. And just lastly, have you been able to determine how many soldiers have been affected by either lack of payment, late payment, or partial payments?
No, we haven't, but we can safely say it is in excess of 1,500 soldiers. We must also remember that all the soldiers who are affected are not necessarily members of the union. In fact, the minority of them are members of the union.
Well, Pikkie Greeff, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That's where we're going to leave it. We did reach out to the Department of Defense, and they had responded to us by saying that they don't know about the story, that they had found out about it for the very first time today in the media. At the start of the program, I had read to you, or at least given you an indication of the coverage done by this in the Sunday World today. It's one of the leading stories for the Sunday World Sunday paper today. The department said that they will not comment on it at this moment as they do not have the full facts, and that this is the first time they have heard of the story. So as and when developments come and new information comes to the fore, we will make sure that we bring that to you.